Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante, recording live or tape, whatever. We're recording this. We're doing some sort of a video, something at the Political Vigilante World Headquarters below Wayne Manor in the outskirts of Gotham City. What do we do on this show? We call out the lies of the nonsense, right? So the CARES Act, which was the single greatest upward transference of wealth that we've ever had in this country. And remember when it came out, I was like, be careful, guys, because I got screwed over in the last stimulus in 08, 09, when Obama and Biden gave $1 trillion to the banks and basically stole my house. Started to fall behind on my mortgage. They said, oh, here's the stimulus money. We're going to put you on a forbearance. We're going to cut your mortgage payment in half for 3 months. And during that 3-month time, we're going to restructure your loan with all this stimulus money, all this taxpayer stimulus money, right? And they get you to a lower monthly payment, restructure your loan. I was like, I don't want to hand up, but just help me stay in my home. And at the end of the 3 months, they went, you don't qualify. What? And now you're 3 months behind on your mortgage. Huh? You owe us whatever it was, 10 grand or something. I was like, wait, what? That happened to me once at the end of Bush's final term and then twice under Obama. And they kept doing it. So I was like 15, 20 grand in the hole. There's no way I could make this. So I had to foreclose. And then they took my house. One West Bank bought my mortgage from IndyMac for 30 cents on the dollar. This is Steve Mnuchin, by the way. Bought my home from IndyMac for 30 cents on the dollar. And it was in a nice neighborhood by the beach in Santa Monica, and sold it. And they made a profit, and they did it all with taxpayer money. So when this CARES Act came around, I said, be careful, guys. I got screwed over hard. Many of you told me your stories of losing your home. I said, be careful. I said, that PPP loan, be careful. Someone got grants. We need some of you small. I'm a small business owner. I took a little SBA. I had to to keep things afloat, to pay for my staff and stuff and keep things going. I had to do it, right? But I said the big corporations, the big companies aren't being held to the same standard. And you know who else isn't? Multimillionaire celebrity athletes. Tom Brady's company received $960,000 in PPP. Then he bought a yacht. My small business didn't get a dime. So a guy that doesn't need the money, and I'm going to go into what he's worth here in a second, takes a picture, doesn't need a yacht, doesn't need this money. This woman, hashtag progressive party, Bernie supporter, now wants probably a People's Party, didn't get a dime. There's 60% of small businesses that are shut down or closed right now aren't coming back. But Tom Brady got a yacht that he could have bought with his own money. Instead, he got government money to do it. So this is because he's now down in Florida. Because, he got traded. I don't know if you follow the NFL, but he was with the Patriots for years. And then he got a 2-year, $50 million deal to go play down in Tampa. He's already made $260 million over his career. And now he got a yacht with your money, your taxpayer money. Anybody out there? Let's say you're in California's had to go back to extreme shutdowns, especially like in LA and San Francisco. LA's, the numbers are through the roof. They're having to open up extra beds now because the hospital bed space. So people are like, oh, COVID's not that big of a deal. It's not. Oh, it's only 1% of the population dying. People who say that don't understand what the real threat is. It's not just people getting COVID and dying, which is serious. It's the hospital beds are stacked up. Right? Mark Maron, a comedian that I know that's in the movie Earbuds that I directed, his girlfriend, and he put this online, was having heart trouble, but she didn't want to go to her heart was like chest pain and was like, yeah, but the hospitals are full because of COVID patients. So I'm going to just wait. And then she died. There's a lot of stories like that. And this guy gets $960,000. So all these companies are shut down. The hospitals are stretched too thin. They're telling people, retirees come back. They're rushing people through nursing school. I mean, like, this is a serious thing, not to mention the economic impact. Record numbers of unemployment claims. Did this 960 grand, it'd be one thing if Tom Brady said, look, I got the 960 grand and I put all these people to work that need work. He bought himself a yacht. This is why I don't watch the NFL anymore. This is why it's hard for me to watch professional sports, because professional athletes, some of them are good people who have causes and stuff, but they're multimillionaires that play for billionaires. I mean, I earned it. I go to practice. I take those hits. Oh, come on, man. You've made $260 million throughout your career. And the minute he retires, he doesn't ever have to work again. But the minute he retires, he'll get any network he can be a broadcaster on, an analyst, the easiest gig. Just come in on Sundays and talk X's and O's. Like, fucking shoot it from your backyard, shoot it from your yacht. Like the easiest. He's got a job in coaching anywhere he wants. He can go on the memorabilia circuit for the rest of his life. I mean, like, unbelievable. This guy never needs money. 960 grand. That could really save some small businesses. All these restaurants, a bunch of restaurant owners in Los Angeles have come out and said, if you shut us down again, because what was happening was they made a rule over the summer when the restaurants could open back up. They said, well, first it was only takeout, when everything got shut down, you can only do takeout, which hurt their business. Then they said, we can open up outside as long as there's, social distancing. And then they shut down the outside thing again. And now they're just doing takeout, and some of these restaurants can't survive. But Tom Brady's got a yacht. Brady's 40-foot plus vessel named Viva Avida, what an idiot, arrived in St. Pete last Thursday, just a day before the Massachusetts-based supplement merchandise company TB12 Inc. So he's Tom Brady. His jersey number is 12. He has a supplement company. So his supplement company again, if Tom Brady was like, look, my supplement company has 50, 100 employees, and we need this money to keep, and all the money's going to my employees, you could kind of go, okay, I guess. I mean, he could write his own. I mean, Tom Brady could pay his own employees and not need this 960 grand. So even that, it's like, even if he needed the night to pay his employees. I mean, he could just write a check to pay his own employees, but he doesn't want, no, yacht. You see how the system's all stacked against us? And what happens, the people that did get the PPP loans who have barely kept their lights on, and some of those people got the PPP loans, it's still not enough, and their businesses have gone under. And is the government going to go, hey, we want our money back? Does Tom Brady have to pay back his money for his yacht? Or does he get a big lawyer to say no? He received nearly $1 million from the federal Paycheck, the PPP plan. While the $522 billion program was designed to help small businesses cover things like rent and payroll during the pandemic, larger companies mostly benefited, and nearly half of all small businesses were denied PPP. It was even worse for minority-owned businesses. Do rich people in this country, none of them get it. And I'm sorry, some of these celebrity athletes, I got to call them out too, not just Tom Brady, but even okay, LeBron does good work and he gives money to charity and stuff like that. He still lives in some $20, $30 million house, drives all these fancy cars. Like, what? Come on. It's just these people are out of control. So anyone out there who didn't even get the loan and you needed that money, And maybe you applied for what? 50 grand, 60 grand, 100 grand. You know what I mean? You're talking about, let's just say 50 grand. Let's just pull that number out, right? So you're talking about just under 20 companies could have used that 50 grand to survive. Even, let's say even a bigger companies. Let's just say 3 companies that each needed 300 grand to keep their doors open, 3 bigger restaurants or whatever, 50 employees, like companies that have a big gym. You see all the big gyms closed down, all the personal trainers, the staff, the people, the janitors, they clean all of it. They could have used that money, but Tom Brady's got a yacht. The guy with a $50 million contract who could buy his own yacht got the government to pay for a yacht. And then Nancy Pelosi turned down a stimulus bill before the election because she didn't want to give Trump a stimulus. And now the one they just are talking about accepting is half of what was offered before the election. So just so you're clear, the Democrats and Republicans are pieces of shit. Democrats are pieces of shit, so they're probably... Brady, by the way, is a Trump supporter. Just throwing that out there. They're all pieces of shit. Brady's company managed to pull in a $960,000 loan on April 15th from the federal government, according to data released by the U.S. Small Business Association. At this point, it's unclear exactly how TB12, Brady's company, was impacted by the coronavirus pandemic and how many jobs it retained with the loan. But the company did adapt by releasing non-FDA approved $45 immunity supplements at the peak of Florida's lockdowns. So to be clear, there's no clear evidence. They've said nothing. There's no clear, they're a supplement company. So I'm sure maybe they have a big retail business that got shut down, but then you shift to online. Like I've talked about, I did that. ZT, the vigilante company, they had a big retail business. And when the pandemic hit, they had to scramble and really work hard on getting their online business going. And I talked to Jeffrey a couple, he was like, it's a little touch and go. But now he's starting to he figured it out. He didn't have to fire anybody. But that's, so how is a supplement company really hurt? Okay, so they ship them to retail businesses, so what did they do? Non-FDA approved immunity supplements, and they charge $45 for them. So they preyed on people's fears of the coronavirus. You need your immunity supplements. Okay, I started taking more immunity stuff. I take zinc, I take elderberry, echinacea. I take all that on a daily, and I've always kind of had immunity, but I've taken them just like almost every day since March, right? $45. So they just jacked up the price. And where'd this 960 grand go? And he'll do something. I'm sure he's got some golf outing, charity nonsense. He's not really helping people out. You know what Tom Brady could have done? He could have just given people food, because you know what? They need it. We just had Thanksgiving week and every week, but Thanksgiving was even a bigger demand. But food banks are overrun.
Happy Thanksgiving. On a Thanksgiving made tougher by keeping many families apart, those who made it here faced a more pressing need.
This year, we've been holiday level busy since March.
Nationwide, 54 million Americans don't have access to sufficient food.
54 million Americans don't have sufficient access to food. Tom Brady got a $50 million 2-year deal. Could give every American $1 and still have 260 million left over. There's people who don't have enough food, but Tom Brady got a yacht. Even if he can prove that his supplement company got impacted by COVID-19, and he can prove that his $960,000 small business loan of taxpayer money went to his employees and his business, even if he can prove that, he's still an asshole for buying a fucking yacht while people are in food lines. Do you know? I mean, like, what happens? Like, honestly, they've done studies. Like, when people get really rich, I guess like their brain changes and they just become this selfish mutant that doesn't. When we were driving through Tampa, my wife and I, we saw these food lines and we were just like, boy, we got to do something. So we bought a yacht. I mean, maybe we'll let people take photos of it. Oh, you bought a yacht so people can live on it and get their kids off the street, people living in the streets. Oh, no, God, no, we'd never do that. I mean, we'll rent it out to them for $1,000 a day. No, they're hungry, Tom. They can't afford their. Why is that my problem? I'm the greatest of all time. I got 6 Super Bowl rings, and I voted for Trump.
In Texas, the long lines tell a story not lost on 5th grader Orion Jean, who organized a campaign to donate 100,000 meals by Thanksgiving.
Looking at all of the people that don't have jobs or don't have access to things like food and clothes and all of these essential things that we sometimes take for granted on Thanksgiving Day. Really sad, because one of the most memorable parts about Thanksgiving is the Thanksgiving meal. So knowing that I can help in just the smallest way makes me want to.
Wait, the kid didn't say anything about everyone deserves a yacht. A 5th grader gets this more than a quarterback in the NFL. A 5th grader is like, this ain't right. We got to do something about it. And a multi-millionaire celebrity athlete, one of the most recognizable athletes in the planet, definitely in America. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame, has all these MVPs and Super Bowl rings. I mean, he's probably got $1 million in Super Bowl rings. Sees lines like this and sees this. So the 5th grader and Tom Brady see the same thing. And the kid goes, man, we got to get meals for these. The kid, a 5th grader, who really, he doesn't even have a job. But the kid's like, we got to do something about this. Tom Brady goes, I got to buy a yacht. Boy, you really miss athletes from the past, don't you? You really miss them. The NBA went on strike this summer after Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back by the Racine police. They went on strike for 3 days, and then Obama told them to go back to playing ball. Tom Brady got a yacht. Muhammad Ali refuses army induction because he said, no Viet Cong ever called me the N-word. He said that. Why do I got to go to Vietnam to kill poor people? Lost his title belt, stood on his principles. Tom Brady, will you give up your Super Bowl rings for what's right to help people? No, are you kidding me? I fucking earned those rings. I'm going to buy a yacht. Tom, would you sell your Super Bowl rings to feed people, to keep people off the streets? What? No. Would you risk going to jail, Tom, to help people to stop a war? No. I mean, if by jail you mean I could just buy a yacht and ride around in my yacht, yeah, I mean, I do that. Is that what you're asking? Let's take a look at his yacht. Look at that big smile on his face. These are your heroes, folks. These are your heroes. I used to love watching the NFL, and I was like, I'm not, I wasn't a Patriots fan. I grew up in Chicago. I'm a Bears fan. I'm just like, I can't get behind this guy in this league and these, salute the troops. But even that, it's not even like he's supporting vets. It's not even like, I'm taking $1 million and I'm going to give it to homeless vets. Any vet that lost their job because of COVID-19, I'm going to do something about it. He's not even doing that. Not helping vets, not helping anybody but himself. What does it tell you about the parents of that fifth grader? Those parents they did something right to rate a fifth grader. What are you, 8, 9 years old in the fifth grade, 10 years old? The 10-year-old kid's like, this ain't right. He's a parent. So what is he telling his kids? Hey, kids, make a bunch of money and buy a yacht, and everybody else can, I don't know, wait in a bread line. I don't give a shit. We're going to be on my yacht. What kind of parenting is that? And right. I'm sure he prides himself on being a good leader. He's a good leader on the football field, but a horrible leader to his own children and to society. I want that fifth grade kid to lead me. That kid needs to be a leader. We need more kids like that. The youth of today are like what I have faith in, because the youth of today are like, this guy, he's in his 40s. Voted for Trump. Said in a Howard Stern interview, I don't see race. Oh, really, Tom? You don't see race? Of course you don't, because you're too busy riding around in your white privilege boat. What a jackass. But that's why you come here, folks. These rich people, these Hollywood celebrities, these big athletes, they're not your heroes. There's some athletes out there that they're giving their stuff away. They're doing like Kaepernick, and look what he did. Would Tom Brady take a knee and give up his career the way Kaepernick did? Kaepernick lost millions of dollars. Would Kaepernick have been as good as Brady? I don't know. He at least would have been a good quarterback. He would have been on some winning teams. He's a good quarterback. He'd still be playing in the NFL, probably barring injury. But there's no way he's any worse than Michael Trubisky. Took a knee for what was right, and it cost him millions of dollars. And Tom Brady bought a yacht. Thanks for watching, everybody. You're making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.